You tell me right now who could be a much better band than Oasis. I know that we've dealt with the Beatles and we've dealt with the Stones, and of course, at the time when there was no Oasis, there were the best things for sure going on. Highly creative groups. I didn't care much for the Stones, but again, John Lennon, he was a true inspiration when it came to becoming an artist in my own right. I didn't care about the things he cared about, but other than peace and love, yes, those things I of course can agree on, but that's it. And that's not a bad thing either. Paul McCartney, always an amazing songwriter. I don't even think anybody, if anybody's out there who remembers Ebony and Ivory, at that time in my life when that song came out, it was just the most beautiful thing ever. I don't know. I guess maybe why wouldn't it be fitting for today? But it really was a beautiful song. It hit all the right notes. But I wanted to talk about Oasis, and the reason I brought up Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and even the Stones is because Oasis came out in the 90s, and they just hit everybody smack, smack, left, right, and center. I missed the first wave with Definitely Maybe when that album was released. Um, Live Forever was the first really, really big song. And I even remember a friend before, even before What's the Story, Morning Glory came out, that had Wonderwall, Champagne Supernova, and Don't Look Back in Anger. These would become massive anthems that, like the Spice Girls, you weren't going to forget these guys at all because they wrote songs that were not forgettable. And you knew that at the heart level. You can feel the energy of the songs. That Noel Gallagher, as he said it, it just kind of hit him about the process of writing what he would call maybe, or I'm calling a hit song. And it seems to be that he figured out the formula that works for him perfectly because he resonates at a heart level, but on an anthem level as well. They're always being referred to as the band that really puts out the anthems, and it's true. People sing their songs for them on stage, more or less. We know all their words, and I've been with them up until the very end. Now, Liam Gallagher and Noel Gallagher together make Oasis, of course, with their talented bands, but those have been through variations throughout their history. They're currently touring right now, and I remember when the Glastonbury Festival had a lot of its messages of hate, Oasis at the same time came out and started their world tour. What a beautiful thing, and they're called Oasis, and they're just giving good vibes. We call it rock and roll, but we could also say it's good vibes because right now, who on earth wouldn't want, if we are celebrating anyways, who on earth wouldn't want to celebrate with the greatest rockers on this planet? In my opinion, they're going to be this way forever. They may not be able to play forever, but their music will have this enduring, lasting impression because each album they managed to hit. Maybe their last one didn't resonate as much as the rest of them, but they somehow found a song for each and every one of us. I always found a moment from each album where there was a song that just always was the right on song for the moment. To this day, my favorites are still coming off of What's the Story, Morning Glory. I'll always have a heart place for Wonderwall. For me, there was a breakup in my life. It was a very, very heavy time for me and on my heart. And I had to work, and I had to, lucky enough, there was malls were big at the time, and I was in a retail environment where they would even play Wonderwall, that cool rock and roll song from some Crazy Brothers back in the 90s, on the mall music or whatever you would call it, just the music that comes out of the mall speakers. So I could even hear it in the store I was working, and it would soothe me because it was something I liked. And right at that time, when there's something you like, when you're coming from a place of heaviness, that's a bump up, and it was always a nice bump up. It wasn't like, hey, here's the sunshines, here's the tambourines and those like those things at parties, like those blowers, whatever. No, it was just a song that's like, hey, I feel you, I get you. And even if there was no connection between the writer, Noel, and Liam, I felt that they got me on some level, or the level that I needed that was right for me. And at that time, music was a heavy player in my life. Now it's very, very background. And recently, even with the tour they started, I've been putting them back on the car when I'm in the car listening to them. Great guitar, great songs. I mean, what song didn't you like by Oasis? Because with every album, they drop something that's catchy. I know I liked their third album, Standing on the Shoulders of... Sorry, that was their fourth, Standing on the Shoulders of Giants. And that was an outstanding album for me. Roll It Over was a really, really good song. It wasn't like a bright, boppity one, but it was a deep, deep feeling one with some amazing guitar work in there. Let me hear what you're thinking about Oasis. I'm sure everybody's an Oasis fan, and if you are, what's your favorite Oasis song? Mine definitely has to be Wonderwall. I do like Champagne Supernova because it gets a little bit trippy when it gets into its guitar parts. And then there's also Don't Look Back in Anger. And ultimately, that song, while it doesn't really get me at the lyric level, I go along with it just like you would with I Am the Walrus. The lyrics don't make sense, but it's part of the song. They're just notes, right? But it was the guitar solo and Don't Look Back in Anger. So, guys, I hope everybody's doing good for a Monday night. Let me know what you're thinking about Oasis on tour. They are in Canada at this time, just bringing their good old charm to people who, like the Beatles, Oasis found the way to write songs that people can sing. And I think that is one of the biggest keys to success when you're writing music. Can people sing along to your songs? Because everybody likes to sing. And if you can make a song that people can sing, boy, when people sing, they're happy. Oasis, I love you. I hope you guys all the best. Just to give credit to Liam and Noel, they both did side projects or their own artistic projects after Oasis, but you can see they're here for a reunion. They're just really, really a beautiful thing together. While separately, I'm sure, I know Noel's work more than Liam's, but their work, no doubt, if it's that good together, there's got to be some good coming from both when they're not together doing their stuff, but Oasis is where it really stands. Love you all. Have a great night. Let me know what you think about Oasis. Drop me a comment on your favorite song, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.